on Hillary Clinton on this, but I think what we saw tonight overall were two candidates who don't have very many differences. We've seen this in debate after debate after debate. They've got their differences with the Republican Party, and their differences tonight, this huge argument, Anderson, over health care, in which they really don't have a major difference. So what the voters in Texas and Ohio are going to be looking at is who these people are. And I agree with David Gergen. In Hillary Clinton's last answer, I think we saw more of who she really is than we have since New Hampshire.
We're looking at live pictures again. Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton still on the stage in Austin, Texas, greeting their well-wishers. Jeffrey Toobin, Obama had to deflect criticism this week for allegations that he lifted chunks of his speech from Deval Patrick. He was asked about it. Senator Clinton was asked about it. I want to play that for our viewers as well.
The notion that I had plagiarized from somebody who's one of my national co-chairs, who gave me the line and suggested that I use it, I think is silly. And, you know, but this is where we start getting into silly season in politics, and I think people start getting discouraged about it. They don't want...
If your candidacy is going to be about words, then they should be your own words. That's, I think, a very simple proposition. And, you know, lifting whole passages from someone else's speeches is not change you can believe in. It's change you can Xerox. And I just don't think...
It's a clever line. I wonder who gave her that line. Jeffrey Toobin, how do you think it played in the hall?
It bombed. I think there'll be two moments that people are going to talk about from this debate. One is that line, the change you can Xerox. You could tell even when she said it, she kind of regretted saying it, that it wasn't very funny, and it didn't come across very well. But Gloria and David both talked about that last comment that Hillary Clinton made about, you know, that really wonderful, evocative, painful image of the soldiers coming in for the opening of that hospital. I actually had a somewhat different reaction, though, to it. I thought it did sound valedictory. It did sound like she is recognizing that this campaign is not going well, but she's going to leave it on the high ground, not the low ground. I felt it was towards the end of the campaign, not the beginning.
Donna Brazile, as you watched tonight, what thoughts did you have?
Well, first of all, I think the audience was clearly the winner. They are fired up, and as a result of it, what you saw tonight, especially in the first 45 minutes, was that both Senator Clinton and Senator Obama tried to talk about the things that they shared in common. So it was a little bit of hugging at first, and then, of course, the tone changed when the questions became very pointed. Look, she scored on many issues. She scored on Cuba. She perhaps scored better on health care, but he's connecting better. He's able to draw the crowds, the audience to him with substance as well as his style. So while I didn't hear a lot of fireworks, what I did see tonight was these two candidates reaching out to the people that they've already reached, but they didn't reach into each other's camp and pull anyone toward them.
So in a debate, Donna Brazile, in which many people said Senator Clinton had to knock it out of the park or Barack Obama had to stumble, you saw neither.
I didn't see that. No, I think Senator Clinton wanted to, because you heard her coming back again and again on health care, coming back again and again on her experience ready. But Senator Obama seemed to have this frame that, you know, that's old stuff. That's not how we bring the country together. That's not how we create the change that we want to see to help the families struggling with paying their mortgages. So on that note, I think they scored points you know, to bring their people into their corner, but not to bring someone else with them.
Gloria Borgia, do you believe this changes? And we're going to look at dial testing in this next hour. Do you think this changes the dial, though?
I don't think it really does change the dial. I mean, they really, the conventional wisdom was that Hillary Clinton had to try and kind of exploit her differences with Barack Obama. She tried to do that on health care. I think she did it to a certain degree, but I think tonight, you saw Barack Obama as a very credible commander-in-chief. It's the first debate I can really recall where he really seemed seem to fit into that role very, very easily. And I think that's going to be important. But will it turn the dial substantially one way or the other? Was anything new raised this evening, Anderson, that we hadn't already heard before? I don't really think so.
And there's a pattern at play in this campaign where Obama starts out in all of these states substantially behind and then blows right past her.
And we're seeing new polling with a statistical dead heat in Texas.
In states where he was way behind in Texas and Ohio. So if the pattern holds, she's in desperate trouble in these two states, which her candidacy ends if she doesn't win. So I think given those patterns, the fact that there was not a dramatic change in this debate is very good news
David
for Obama.
Gergen, do you agree that it all boils down now to March 4th, to what happens in the state of Texas, in the state of Ohio?
Yes, I do, and I think that Jeffrey Toobin is absolutely right.
And by the way, it seemed like Hillary Clinton seemed to say that tonight as well, basically saying it's not going to be a matter of superdelegates.
Right, I agree with that too. And he has the momentum. What I thought tonight was that I don't think she stopped his momentum tonight. I did not think she came out with a real message. She just tried out old themes like experience, and which has not worked. Getting into that health care debate, she may have scored a couple of debating points, but the fact was it was a little hectoring. And I think we've heard all this before, and it's not working for her. So except for that last moment, and there was one other moment, I thought she stumbled into what could be a potential theme for her, but she's not using it, and that is she's a fighter. And that on health care, she's willing to go for universal because she's going to fight, and she's not quite sure he has the courage or the kind of fighting instinct, and that actually might work for her. It's got something to do about action as opposed to just experience, which is such a leaden kind of approach. It doesn't really get anybody excited.
And the clock is. The clock is ticking, of course, 1 week to go before the March 4th primary in Texas, in Ohio. We're going to have more with our panel to come. Up next, we're going to be joined by the people asking the questions tonight. Campbell Brown and John King get their take on some of the answers. You're watching 360 special coverage of the CNN Univision debate in Austin, Texas. We'll be right back.